everybody, it's Dana. This is the third, and I guess that really doesn't matter that it's the third because people watching this at a later time may not watch them in order. But this topic, still on the subject of bathing our dogs, is about a detox bath. And so detox has sort of become this hot new buzzword, but it's super important, really. It's finally catching on in a lot of respects. And so we can talk about detox in the dog's system or our own system, much like we would think about a cleanse. But let's think about, do we need to give them sort of a detox bath? So in one of the earlier videos, I mentioned that when I go to the shelter and I take Poppy with me, she gets a Thieves Household Cleaner spray on her feet to get rid of whatever shelter funk we may have walked around in. Even outside could be something that we don't want to bring back into the car or into the house. But so many of you live in neighborhoods where your neighbor is spraying lawn chemicals, right? We know that those are very hazardous to us and to our pets. If you are still using pesticides and yard chemicals and such in your yard, I encourage you to look for more natural options. There are many, and we'll talk about that later. But even as you walk your dog around the neighborhood and they stop to go in somebody's grass, which we don't want to let them do, but you're at the park, you're in the natural area, there are all sorts of things sprayed around, right? That your dog walks on, absorbs whatever is on the ground through the pads of their feet. This happens with, again, pesticides and yard sprays and weed killers and things of that nature in your neighbor's yard, in the park. It happens in the snowy season when you have to walk your dog on the sidewalks and someone has gone out there with salts to help the ice melt, or those ice melting products. Your dog is absorbing all of that into their feet. If you have little low riders or furry dogs, they're getting it on their bellies. They're getting it into the fur of the skin. Into their fur. We say with animals, their fur acts as a wick to draw in things like essential oils. What makes us think that's not wicking in other harsh chemicals as well? It is. It totally is. The fur is wicking those things into and down to the skin. So if you are out in these environments very frequently, you want to wipe down your dog, right? You want to get those things off his feet, off his belly, off his fur. And what we may need to do on a periodic basis is give a detox bath. If we know they've been exposed to something like that, we might want to do a detox bath. And there are protocols that we can discuss and outline for you in those areas, using essential oils and using essential oil-based products that will help cleanse a little more effectively and gently, right? And then we might need to look at doing the detox for the systems of the body, right? Because remember, the kidneys and the liver and those waste management systems have to figure out how to process that stuff once it's in the body, right? What do I do with this? Where does it go? And sometimes it clogs up things that we call receptor sites, and those organs start to not function as efficiently as they should or could. And that can lead us down some tricky, wicked roads, right? Where we're putting our dogs in a more compromised position. We often talk about how it's kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. We can take the cells of the body can handle and fight off all these things that it's trying to do until it can't, until the load is too much for it to bear, and those cells start to break down and become damaged. And then we start to see illness and disease and all sorts of chronic issues show up in our pets' bodies or in our own. I mean, it's no different really for them than it is for us. So there is an opportunity if you are being exposed to lots of harsh chemicals in the environments in which you live and where you need to take your dog for playtime and walks and things of that nature, to do a detox bath and to do a system detox. And we'll talk about the system detox later, but just know for now you have this as an option to start doing a bath. It's really a soak. You use things like Epsom salts and essential oils that are geared towards drawing and soothing and cleansing, and putting them, where your dog is in the bath water, and you sponge this stuff on, this concoction of detox Epsom salts and essential oils, and you sponge it on the dog, and you sort of have him in this bath for 15 to 20 minutes. This is not your everyday bath, which again, most of you don't need, but it is something to really help detoxify the skin and the fur and eliminate the things that we've been exposed to when they happen. So again, if your dog has been exposed to some level of harsh chemicals that you know about or that you presume are there, this is a protocol that you probably want to start implementing on a regular basis. So if you have questions about that, let me know.